Howdy, folks. Thank you all so much for being here. My name's Alex. I'm the founder of Gameplay Candles, and I'm joined tonight by my good friend and current DM, Steve. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing good. Thank you, Alex. How are you?
Good, good. Well, let's get into it. First things first. Let's play our little our discount game here. This is the game where we will roll a 20-sided die, and whatever comes up, we're going to add to a baseline of 10% off any order that's placed in the next hour at Gameplay Candles. So it's the hour of 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock Central Time, and let's just get into it. So if this worked right, let's see what we're going to come up with.
Come on, 20.
All right. Yeah, 11. So that's a total of 21% off, 21% off any order placed between now and 10 o'clock at gameplaycandles.com. So the only thing you need to know is to enter the code RITUALS at checkout for 21% off your order. Very good. That's a pretty good roll tonight, I think. You know, we've had some lower rolls for sure, but that's right in there. Oh, hey, Squirrels! Squirrels has joined us. Good to see you. Squirrels actually, you are related to the next point I want to talk about real quickly. Is we got some upcoming scents, new scents coming out for summer 2023, and we've just sent out our first batch of summer scent testing packets, but we're still looking for testers. So if you're interested in joining our small community of scent testers and providing feedback, go ahead and go to that URL that's shown on the bottom of the screen there. We'll take down your information. We're not going to sell it or anything like that. We're just going to use it to send you free tea light samples. So by all means, if you like free stuff, if you like candles, well, I hope you like candles because you're watching this. But if you like free stuff, then submit there and you'll get, I think this batch is six tea lights that are under development right now that we're looking for feedback on. Later this spring, though, I just want to tease this out a little bit. Later this spring, we're going to be launching a few more candles in our core collection. First up is Bard's Bedroom. Oh, I think I lost you for a second there. But anyway, Bard's Bedroom candle is got to be the only candle that might actually appear in the game because bards are just the type of people to have candles lit in their bedroom, you know? This candle is going to be that of a lover, not a fighter. We're talking sweet white currant, sparkling citrus notes, heliotrope flowers, and all of them sort of based and anchored by deeper tones of amber, vanilla, and brown sugar. It's one of the most complex scents that we've developed right now, and I'm really excited to launch it. And the other one I want to just briefly mention is our Barbarian's Encampment candle. Now, you might not think barbarians smell really good, and you'd probably be right, but if you think about their encampment, the place where they live and conduct the business of the day, they're not going to want to smell like crap. They're going to want to have all the comforts of a home. So this candle is meant to capture the sense of an established encampment that nomadic tribes call home. It's going to have cedar, sandalwood, and amber, all combining with oud, jasmine, tonka bean, and some musk undertones. So very masculine or traditional masculine. Don't want to assume anything there. But yeah, that's coming up later this spring. More details to come. Hope you guys are ready and interested for that. Steve, we talked a bit about ChatGPT before.
Yes, we have.
You're our resident expert when it comes to ChatGPT and its application to D&D things. What are we gonna discover here today? What are we gonna create with ChatGPT?
Well, let's see. What can we do? Let's create a magical item of some type.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
Create a magical D&D item. Alex, what should we do? Something offensive, defensive?
Well, I'm going to ask Squirrels, since you're here. You know, give us a detail. We'll try to work it into the. To the chat. Not to put you on the spot, but we can do. Why don't we do maybe a few items tonight, Steve. How about a magical item that works in a maritime setting?
Wow, you're really stressing my spelling here.
I think it's they're maritime setting. Perfect. Okay.
Seeker's compass. Wonder is very rare.
Rotating points towards me. Oh man, this is so freaking complicated. Ooh, a new potion based on a girl. Squirrels. Squirrels, you're way better at this than I am. You should be up here. Let's see. Holy God, this magical item.
It's pretty freaking awesome. Here, let me scroll up so we can see this thing.
Yeah. Like I said maritime
Through
environment.
navigation, once per day, you can activate the compass to gain a intuitive the best route to take through any waterway.
What a this was a specific request, and
weather protection.
geez, it delivered. Okay.
Summon sea creature.
Friendly sea creature to aid you in your travels. So, many years ago, I was. This reminds me, I was a submariner in the U.S. Navy, and many years ago, we were operating in some higher latitudes, and we picked up biologics on the radar. Fish or whatnot, very common. But these biologics was actually a pod of whales, and we were at periscope depth, I think, and so that's pretty close to the surface. And the whales came right up to the side of the sub, and we think that it was a whale that rocked us. We felt a very sudden rock to starboard, and we think that that was due to a whale, not to a wave, because most waves wouldn't affect us that much. But anyway, it was a friendly sea creature. I'm not sure that we summoned him so much as dealt with him, but yeah.
Big whale playing tag with a submarine.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I'm glad I was in the Army.
Don't even worry about it. That whale couldn't do anything to that sub.
Yeah, but I mean, this is odd. Again, it's a great tool just when you kind of have writer's block. I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, Steve, what's your favorite candle?
Probably Dwarven Mountain Hall.
Oh, you have excellent taste, sir. That's my favorite candle too. Why don't we come up with a? Can we use ChatGPT to describe a clan of dwarves that occupies a Dwarven Mountain Hall?
Describe a clan of dwarves.
Squirrels, do you have a favorite scent?
Hall. See what it does here.
I'm waiting for the day when we actually confuse it.
I had some success with it. I mean, it's limited.
And
usually, actually, when I get something from here,
mm-hmm.
often I will edit it to my particular campaign. I may rename something, but it's a good just kind of base. And I'm sure 3 years from now, it's going to completely just, I can't imagine how much better it's going to be.
Gotcha. Yeah. Man, this is great. Yeah, like you said, ChatGPT, so good for overcoming writer's block. I'm realizing it may be too many words for a live stream. But
yeah. And I've had it though, where it's been too short and only sakes. I've done hey, give me a plot summary for a one-off. And it'll give maybe 2 paragraphs. I'm like, hey, could you expand on it? And then it will actually go into much greater detail.
Rogue's Retreat, excellent choice there, Squirrels.
All right. What should we do for Rogue's Retreat then?
How about describe a rogue's private hideaway or dead drop? Yeah, Rogue's Retreat, very leather forward on that one.
The most hideaway or dead drop?
Let's say hideaway. That's how I always imagine this. It's retreat.
Yeah, I think dead drop may confuse GPT. Hideaway.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, that's our most leather forward scent. There is leather in 2 candles that I have now, but if you are a fan of the leather scent, then definitely Rogues Retreats for you.
I think Rogues Retreat would be my second favorite.
Mm.
Yeah, it's right in a book.
Yeah, we should. Can we specify limit it to 50 words or something like that?
Yeah, you probably could. Like, to be honest, I've done that where like write something small. It's pretty generic on this one. So if you're going to say, hey, you're trying to see what the limitations are, I think this is a limitation. It's just very basic what a rogue's hideaway is.
Comfortable, well equipped, living space. Yeah, I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I dig it. Hey, Mike. Mike, you asked, how do you become a tester? We have a URL that we're going to put up on the screen here. I wish it was shorter. I wish there was a way to take a screenshot of a QR code, but this is what we got. So if you just plug in that URL, then we'll take your information down and we'll send you free tea light samples. We got six tea light samples that just went out for our upcoming summer scents. And yeah, if you're interested,
Alex, how much does it cost to be a tester?
Oh my God, it costs nothing, not a thing. But I should say, if you do fill out the feedback that we have an online form for that. You're automatically entered into a drawing where the winner of that drawing will be receiving a jar candle of their choice.
So if I were to become a tester, what do I need to do once I get the product? I mean, how do I let you know what I love and don't like?
Good question. Well, thank you for saying what you love and don't like, because we are interested in any and all feedback. It's the only way that we're going to get better. So, but basically, to provide that feedback, there's a little QR code sticker that's placed on the bag of tea light samples. So you can just use your phone to access the website, or you can manually plug in the URL, which is a little shorter than that one, if I remember correctly. And it'll take you to a type form chart where it'll ask you a number of questions regarding each scent, and it's very quick. It's just a few minutes of your time once you've lit those candles, and yeah, and it's invaluable to us. So, squirrels, I'm glad. Yeah, Druid's Orchard. That was our first candle that we launched after I started the company in November. So I'm glad your wife's you're liking that one. Well, let's
talk rituals.
Say again.
Talk rituals.
Yeah, let's talk rituals. So the topic ostensibly of tonight's live stream is game night rituals. That is little events, processes, or actions that your gaming group takes at the beginning, middle, or end of your game nights that sort of carry a meaning and signify either it's time to play, signify something awesome that happens, signify it's time to end. This could be anything as common as an inside joke, or anything as mundane and esoteric as an incantation. I don't know what you guys do, but Steve, you're my DM. Why don't you tell us a bit about the ritual that we've developed in our game that sort of kicks off the session?
Sure. One thing we do as a group, we'll get around the table before the game starts. We've already gotten our character sheets out, or the dice, DM screen set up. We're ready to go, and then we'll go around and we'll ask for one unique factoid of the character, and it really helps, I think, the players get a little bit more immersed in their character. The goal is that they'll spend all week thinking of some unique
the goal
attribute.
Yeah,
and usually it's actually on the spot because everyone forgets, because everyone's got a real life and job and family and the normal stresses of life. Yeah. So we get there, you completely forget. I'll mention it, and you'll see probably of the 5 players, 4 of them have deer in the headlight look. One person's prepared, will go, and then it just kind of goes around the table. So you get some things are very amazingly detailed. Others, I know my character once I was like, is lactose intolerant.
Yeah. I was going to bring that one up, Steve, actually, because I think so. Your character's lactose intolerant, and then last night at our gaming session, I think you mentioned are they vegan? Is that it, or vegetarian?
No, they didn't. They will eat fish, but they do not like fish.
Right.
And the only reason that popped in my head is because we had sushi last night at our game. So not very creative at all on my part.
I didn't know that the sushi was actually where you drew inspiration.
That was my inspiration. Yeah.
Okay.
Which I love sushi, but my character apparently would not.
Yeah. What I'm learning about your character from all these random facts is that you sound like a picky eater who's a nightmare to travel with. But yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. I think Adam was the one who brought it to the table, but
yeah,
I had never encountered that before.
I think he said from one of his previous groups, they started it, he enjoyed it. It gave kind of a rich or more rich background, each character a little bit more insight, and it was just fun to do.
It does help round out those characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's put the question to the audience now. Do you guys have any game night rituals that you'd want to share, maybe, or bring up? I'll talk about real quick the some of the other groups that I was part of had rituals. Well, I had it's almost a house rule, but it became a ritual where if you drank a health potion, you had to drink from a little glass bottle that I would mix up of usually some strong liquor and like a fruit punch or something like that, and dye it red. Red for health potion, and different colored potions for other potions. But that was a fun little ritual that we made. I wouldn't say it inhibited anyone from drinking health potions, but it did add like a certain level of immersion, I guess, to it. Another fun one that I'd heard of was one of my customers actually reached out to me, and we got to talking a bit about D&D, and that he had mentioned how his ritual that his group does is actually lighting a candle at the beginning of each session. Imagine that. But it does sort of like he said it signified like a downshift in everyone's energy and like a little focusing of attention to the game, and starting it up. No real rituals to speak of, but we always rate the one-liners as they come out. Oh, that's good. When I was DM, one-liners would often result in inspiration, although I would say the puns would often result in 1d4 of psychic damage. So beware. You must meet a certain threshold to tell corny jokes. Let's see, Mike, you shared that ours always started off with a meal with tavern music playing in the background. I dig it. Yeah, I've said it on other podcasts that I've been guests on, but food is one of the senses, or taste is one of the senses that you don't really think about in terms of immersion, but it's so intrinsic to so many game nights. Why not bring a certain flair for fantasy in with the food? And so tavern music in there is a great backdrop. I have the D&D cookbook. I think it's right behind me. Heroes Feast.
Well, I was gonna say, Alex, you've actually cooked for us and brought some food from
you've
that,
suffered
and that
through
was
my hand pies made with real hands, but
it was tasty. Hopefully washed hands, but it was very tasty.
Yeah,
it helped with immersion, and I'll agree. Like the music, I think we always had music playing on in the background.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Steve, you put together such a great playlist, but it's interesting. I would contrast your playlist with my playlist. Mine is like straight up fantasy music / bardcore, takes on modern songs. But Steve, you go to the next level, I think, where you take music that just captures whatever feeling that is, prevalent or on theme for that night's adventure and play it regardless of genre. So I remember specifically, like, the end of one session, we figured out that the bad guys we just killed was, they're dressed like policemen. Oh, they're cops. We just murdered a bunch of cops. And then, like, Steve, you started the next session, I think, playing the theme song to Cops. Bad boys, what you gonna do and stuff. And it was just like, that's so like perfectly on brand for the feeling that we all had.
Yeah, and I look for like bluesy, anything that just kind of conveys whatever feeling or emotion. It's not necessarily bardcore or bard music, like your traditional. I almost get inspiration from like watching just a good like Quentin Tarantino movie. We'll find like some unusual song that may not even quite fit in, but it's just a nice. It really just kind of sets the tone and kind of plays well with whatever's going on.
Yeah, I think everything you do immersion wise is all about tone setting, and rituals feed into that. In that, it can bring people to that tone. Ooh, squirrels! You shared that a night of just Princess Bride references. Man, that's
That'd be a
I don't know
challenge,
how
but
long
man,
your
that'd be fun.
sessions are, but that's impressive. I mean, there's the obvious, like, never cheat a Sicilian in a game involving death. Wallace Shawn going berserk. That's a good one to work in. Steve, what would you got any lines from favorite movies you want to work in?
Oh man, the Princess Bride. I mean, I'm thinking about trying to have like some fight scene where the bad guy is like, "Well, actually, I'm right-handed, not left-handed."
Yeah.
Something, and all of a sudden, yeah,
Flip.
whatever. But I mean, you could have so much fun with that. I'm trying to think of like rhymes with peanut and
Yeah. Oh, that was what popped into my mind too. Do
King
you wanna
powder,
read
and
it?
all sorts of just fun things with it.
That's good. Steve, if we ever get the chance to have our characters play together and one of us not being the DM, we should have an agreement going into a session. Be like, okay, we're going to riff, but the theme is going to be Princess Bride or Star Wars or, whatever movie we land on that evening. I think that would be a hilarious inside baseball,
That would
joke.
be great. I mean,
Yeah.
and when you have things like that, I mean, we played last night, in fact, and Alex, your character, another character in our group, kind of had sort of like a little rival going on.
Yeah.
And the whole time they are just like bickering back and forth. And it really added just kind of a nice flavor
Well,
that I wasn't expecting.
I was thinking about that the whole ride home and the into the evening. Like our characters, so my character's name is Arturo, and this other character's name is Mucho. And Arturo and Mucho are cut from the same cloth in so many respects, and they've like historically gotten along great and like better than I'd say most other characters in Mucho. But it was hilarious. I guess we were both a little too much like Mucho in this instance that we were starting to butt heads. Well,
But even you guys button heads, it felt like a friendly
I think
rivalry was just starting.
Adam and I are able to, and I think every good D&D player should be able to separate the player from the character. And so you go along with how the character would interact with the other characters without actually getting angry at the guy sitting next to you,
I will tell you, Adam to me is the king of role playing. He doesn't do the character doesn't do what Adam would do. The character does what Adam has set the character to do.
Yeah.
Like his vices, the way he operates, it's very much in the spirit of what this character is like and what they would do. Because I know it's so easy when you're role playing to like all of a sudden you slip into yourself and like, well, what would you do? What would your character do?
Yeah, that's so true. And it's worth pointing out that he's not abusing it like so the stereotypical player who says it's just what my character would do is just being a jerk and like stealing from the party. Where is this what my character would do? They would attack the guards without asking. It's like he's not doing that. He's just enriching everyone's experience at the table. And
we had instances where we're doing like a heist and there's a middle of a fight and he's not involved. So he's like, I'm not going to help them. They're doing fine. And he's like stealing everything while this fight's going on. And that's what his character would do. But at the same time, if you have like another character who's like in trouble, he's the first one to run in and jump in between the big bad guy and the character who's like at 1 HP. And just give caution to the wind. And I mean, it's a very endearing character. And so I look at like Adam's kind of the example of how to run role play to make it fun.
Sorry, my internet is fritzy tonight, but Pamela adds that
bantering
adds more fun to the game. Huh?
I said you must have rolled a 9 on your internet.
Yeah.
con.
Oh well, Comcast is still rolling at 20 when they're charging me every month. But bantering adds more fun to the game. That's right, totally. Not everything has to be smooth. Not everything has to be agreed upon as by committee. It's fun to have those relationships in the role play that add some friction to the group dynamic. It's what leads to those funny moments. Let's see. Squirrels, you shared that you have an Adam who is also an amazing role player, always comes in dressed in some way like his character. That's that we haven't even scratched the surface with that, Steve. But
yeah, our group is very much not dressing like anything at this point, but I think we're maybe on the cusp.
At this point, we're talking about going to see the D&D movie opening weekend, and Steve, I think it was you who in the group chat like jokingly said, "Are we dressing up?" And then another player was like, "I'm not dressing up," but like this is the time. This is the time to dress up, especially since we're in Austin, Texas. We're going to go to an Alamo Draft House or something like that, which is you will be the odd man out if you're not dressed up. I'm pretty sure. I saw all the most recent trilogy of Star Wars movies on the opening weekend for each one, and pretty much everybody was dressed up. And I suspect,
in all fairness, our friend who said they're not dressing up is also a paladin and probably doesn't want to invest in plate armor.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Maybe
we should get her. We should get her a little necklace with like a symbol of Paylor on it, just like
we should. We should pitch in for that.
Or something like that. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I'm no stranger to Ren fairs, so I have my woodsman and costume. It just depends on the weather for me, honestly. Like we're thinking about going on a Saturday, so if the weather's good, then I'll be a woodsman in a movie theater watching the D&D movie.
Well, this Texas, it could be 98 or it could be like 62. Just really, you never know.
Yeah, how are those clouds feeling? Okay, my producer / wife is reminding me of the time that I wore a chicken costume to the Ren Fair. Thank you.
And to quote one of our players, go on.
On the drive to the Ren Fair, we stopped because traffic was like at a standstill due to an accident. So we stopped at a Walmart, and it was shortly after Halloween. So they had a bunch of costumes on discount rack, and I got a full body like coverall, like step into it and zip it up. It's a full on chicken suit. And it was a hit at the Ren Fair. We camped out that weekend, and if anyone's ever camped out at a Ren Fair, you know how crazy it can get, and that chicken suit fit right in. Hi, Mike. Yeah, we're based out of Texas. We're both in the Austin area. Gameplay Candles is located and headquartered, so fancy, in Austin. Manufactured. All of our candles are hand poured here in Austin. On the gaming cruise, Squirrels.
Well, what's a gaming cruise?
What is a gaming cruise? And
do you have links to how to get tickets to this?
Yeah. Is this a cruise ship in the ocean? Is it a river cruise? Is it a multiple day deep sea fishing expedition cruise that happens to have D&D going on the whole time? Don't tease us, Squirrels. Oh, yeah. We are talking about game night rituals. Oh, Mike, just south of there, like San Antonio or San Marcos. I could probably share now that Steve and I are going to be manning a booth at Chupacabra Con 9, the premier Central Texas D&D convention, and that's going to be located in San Marcos this year in May, and Gameplay Candles will be there. Steve and I will be manning a booth, so if anyone can make it, we'd love to see you guys out there. Oh my gosh, a Royal Caribbean cruise.
D20 I just Googled D20 cruises. Holy hell.
How have I not heard of this before? Okay. Squirrels World 73, bringing the data. Oh, Victoria. Okay. I dig it.
That's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've covered a lot of ground here, Steve. We covered a
We
lot
kind of been all over the
besides
place.
just rituals. I learned something tonight. Gaming cruises are a thing, and so we might as well end it on a high note. Me learning something. But is there any other rituals you want to talk about, Steve, or anything else you want to bring up tonight?
One thing I noticed is like an informal ritual that I see all our players doing, myself included as a DM, is we all sit there and we roll our D20 dice like many times to try to like coax all the crit ones out
Yeah,
of
you
the
get the
dice.
bad ones out. I think that's a
Yeah,
time-honored and well-respected tradition that
except that I get like half the time, like I get a D20 like 4 in a row before we start the game, and then it never happens during the game.
oh, I don't know.
Or I
We had
do.
just last night we had that string
Well,
of 3 crits in a row from 2
that's
different
pretty amazing.
players. Yeah. That was nuts.
Yeah, I'm just glad I didn't kill a character this time.
My character went down twice, and I'm a artificer armorer. So for those of you who know how tanky those guys can be, yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Find the bad D20 before you start, throw it in jail. It's like
Yes.
time out. You're not rolling tonight.
But multiple sets of dice. Dice goblins rule.
Maybe we'll talk about dice rituals a little bit next time before we get into our proper ritual or our proper
Sounds good.
discussion. Yeah. All right. Well, I want to thank everyone who's joined us. Squirrels, Mike, it was a pleasure talking with y'all. Pamela, thank you.
Oh, hell, Mike's from Victoria. I grew up in Port Lavaca.
Oh, there you go. But anyway, we're going to sign off now. Just a quick reminder that there's a 21% sale off all orders at GameplayCandles.com going on for the next half hour-ish. We play this game every Thursday. Every Thursday we do a live stream. I know we missed the last couple, but we're not going to miss the future ones. And yeah, that's all I got. Thanks, everyone, for joining, and we'll talk to y'all next week.